Good morning, everyone. My name is Chetan Singh. I'm a trainer with SCC Online. And with me, I have my colleague, Mr. Rajesh Raina. Together as a team, we'll be taking this session and answering all your questions. Now, considering the fact, usually what we do is that we take the session, from one end to another, and we cover all the aspects that we believe would be relevant to you. But considering the fact that this is the first time I'm talking to you guys, talking to university, I would like to give this room for you to raise your concerns, raise your expectations before we start the session. So we have around 40 members, 41 members on this meeting. I want you to use the chat option and put it over there what you are expecting out of this session. Now, it can be a simple expectation, that is, you want to know how SCC works. That is something that we will obviously touch base on. You can be very specific that how can I do an authority check on this in this software, or can I see a judgment is overruled or not without reading the full judgment, or can I see what is there any way that I can read the judgment in a shorter span of time? What is the facilities available for the new judgments? All these sort of things are specific to SCC Online. If you want to go ahead and you want to get to a different tangent altogether, what I mean by that is that if you want to compare that this software of SCC Online, does it have an X feature which other software has, then we can get into that. That's a critical analysis. I'll be more than happy to get into that with you. You want to compare a paid legal research software like SCC Online, the free research websites like India Qanun, then Vakil Number One and others. Or you want to compare this website with the official Supreme Court India website, that what is the difference between the Supreme Court India website and SCC Online? Why do I have to pay for the software? All this sort of thing, whatever you have on your mind, you can put it in the chat and I'll take it from there. So I'm going to give another like a minute for all of you. And if I get a message in the chat, I will start taking those questions. If I can answer it right now, I'll answer it. Or if I think that's needs a lot of detailing, I will then take it in the session itself. So now this forum is open for the expectations or the doubts, anything that you have from the session that you need from the session. Please put it in the chat and then we take it forward. Mr. Raina, in the meantime, could you share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Thank you so much. Really appreciate this. So, anyone has any question, any doubt, anything that you want to convey to us? Okay, how is SCC Online better than other legal databases? I don't say this because if you ask a person who is working in a particular organization, the reason why the person is working in an organization is because he thinks it's the best company to work with. So I will not give this answer. I'll rather give you an analysis which was done by a PhD student. He did a research of all the databases that are there, not actually databases, but the publishers that are there in this India fraternity, legal fraternity, and he came up with results which show that there are 350 odd publishers in this legal fraternity, but SCC is the one which has been cited most of the times. So I can show you that, and then we'll answer your question why. There's a quick question. There's a quick answer to that. Before we go into that, Mr. Anna, can you just open SCC Online and GlobalX? That's right, SCC Online GlobalX. You will get a link over there. Now, in the meantime, while Mr. Anna is doing that, I'll SCC Online has put a space in between. There is a reason why all the state judiciaries are using SCC Online. Otherwise, why would any state judiciary would buy it for all the states? So it's not, it doesn't make sense otherwise. And see this. This is a GlobalX one. This is a guide to India's legal research and legal system. This is New York NYU Law Global Journal, and this was by Dr. Rakesh Kumar Srivastava. He was then the library chief of Supreme Court of India Library. And Mr. Anna, could you just do a Control F and search for SCC? Now let's have a quick read about on this. It says there are approximately 350 law journals which are being published in India. The most cited law report containing Supreme Court decisions is Supreme Court cases, also known as SCC, followed by AIR and the official reporter of the Supreme Court, that is SCR. Mr. Anna, just please scroll down further. And then it says, an analysis of the citation in the Supreme Court shows that Supreme Court cases, that is SCC Online, is the most used law report, cited about 60% of the advocates in the Supreme Court. So you can understand, you can do this, understand this part. That there are, someone mic is lost. So you can understand that if there are 350 law reporters in India, out of which 60% share is being enjoyed by one publisher, there has to be a reason for that. So I hope, Alvin, that answers your question. So there are no further questions. So I'll get into this session of research, understanding how we need to do this research, how we are going to go about it, and all that stuff. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the entire detailing in this whatever time that has been allotted to us, and then at the end we'll take the question answer round. Right. Now that doesn't mean that you cannot ask questions. Anything that has been discussed on the screen, and if you have a question around that, you can please use your chat, and we will, if required, I'll request you to unmute yourself and ask a question. And if it's something not relevant to the topic that is being discussed on the screen, I would request you to just either keep it for the time, and when that topic comes on the screen, you can ask that question, or ask that question in the last, right? It will just to maintain the fluidity of the session. Now, SCC Online. First thing first, what is SCC Online? We'll talk about that in a moment. What is more important is how to access SCC Online. And that's the more important aspect over here. Because if you can't access it, there's no way, there's no point talking about it. So for that, we will talk about the MyLoft software. So MyLoft software is a software which is acting like a bridge between you and SCC Online. We need to understand one thing, that we are all sitting at home due to the current situation that we are in. So there has to be an authenticator between, when you are trying to log into SCC Online, how would we get to know that you are a part of some university? So for all those reasons, we have made this bridge. So this bridge will authenticate that yes, you are part of the university, and then it will bring you over here. So first thing first, you would have received an email from us. When I say us, I mean MyLoft, and the sender would look like this. It says MyLoft, no reply at myloft.xyz, this one. So you can search for MyLoft in your database. In case you have not received any email, please do highlight with Alvin or the librarian ma'am, and we will resend it. Or you can also mention it in the chat in the later part of the session when we get into the question answer round. Now, the email will look like this. It says, "Welcome. You have been, you've been part of the MyLoft." It will either say "set password" or it will say "reset your password." So whatever it is, you click on that. It will open up into a different tab. And if you're using a Mac, if you're using an Apple machine, it doesn't work on Safari. MyLoft doesn't work on Safari. It works on all the other browsers except Safari. Now, when you come over here, Mr. Ryan is right. Mizoram over here. Let's see if it's already a part of this. I think it's still. So right now, currently, because this MyLoft is running on trial basis, so you don't have your institute name. So once you'll be told that when you have to put your institution name over here. But yes, once you click on that, it'll take you to this particular screen. It'll ask you set your password. You set your password, and then you'll be taken to this particular screen. You should say select your institute. So in your institute, for now, you have to select SCC Online. You don't have to go for the other one that is your college name. So Mr. Rana, please select that and continue. Once you do that, you will have your another screen coming up, which will ask for your email ID and the password. Email ID is the same email ID on which you have received this particular email, and password with the password that you just set it a minute back. Once you're done with that, it'll say on the screen you need to add an extension. It's a one-time thing. You just click on add extension. It'll take you to a different page. I'm sure everyone has done that before. So add to Chrome, add extension, and you will get an extension will be added to your browser. This is, I think, a prerequisite that you have to do in order to run this particular MyLoft on your laptop, on your browser. Now, once you're here, you are redirected to this particular screen. If you go to the e-resources, and in e-resources, you'll go for databases. And databases, you'll have SCC Online kept over there. You click on SCC Online, it'll open up onto a different window. So before we go ahead, anyone has any doubt till here? Any questions about MyLoft? What to put it in the college, institute name, what password need to put over there, how to add extension, where to click? Any question, anyone?
Sir,
Please.
will you also put the guideline for mobile phone users?
Yes. So for that, I think I have to log into my mobile and then do it. So I'll do that in the last
Okay.
because I have to log into from a different device altogether. But in the mobile, it's rather more simpler because you have to download MyLoft app if you're an iPhone user or an Android user. And all you have to do is select your institute, that is SCC Online, click OK, and then there'll be the same thing, e-resources, databases, and you go to SCC Online. But remember one thing, whatever message that you get on the screen, it'll say yes or no. Always say yes to all the pop-ups. It'll be 3 pop-ups, if I can remember 3 or 2 pop-ups, if that comes in. Just say yes to all of them, and you'll get access to SCC Online. If anyone wants to do that right now, you can also do that. If you have activated your MyLoft in the already there. So I'm assuming that there are no questions around MyLoft. So we're moving ahead. Now, once you're done with this step, you've been taken to SCC Online webpage. Now, there can be a question in your mind that why can't I just write on Google SCC Online? See, if you write SCC Online directly on Google, you're not gonna get a IP access option, and that is what we're looking for. So because there's no authentication if you come from Google, we would not know. So we'll not give you that IP access option. But because you're coming through our authenticator, you'll be now clicking on login. So please click on login, Mr. Rana. And there are 2 options now, user login and IP login. In IP login, you'll just put in your ID over here, your email address that you'll be using. And if you're coming on the website for the first time, there's a possibility that it'll say this, login ID is not registered. Now, there's nothing to worry about in this, and neither you have to reach out to anyone when you get this message. What needs to be done? You need to click on register here. So you click on register, it's a one-time registration that needs to be done. You put in your email ID, you put in your full name, and you say register and login. And you will be taken in the software. And the next time you come around, Mr. Aina, I believe you have registered with a different ID. Can you use that one? Now, Mr. Anna is registered with this ID, so if he'll say login, so he'll be taken to the software. That's the same thing. You have to register yourself, and then it's a smooth ride from there. And that's how you get to this particular screen. Now, this is the welcome screen or the landing page. There are different people using different names. I prefer calling it as a dashboard. So this is a SSC Online dashboard. Different colors, colorful screen. Now, each and every different tile that we have, that is blue, red, and a grayish, charcoal grayish color, has a different purpose. Though you'll be diving into the same database, irrespective of what tile you use, but this will be a gateway to the database. So depending what you have with you, you'll use a specific tile. So let's suppose you have a party name with you, then you'll go for find by party name. So that's the option over there. Then if you have an option, if you have a citation with you for any other journal, even if it's not SEC, if it's AIR, SCR, Indian Appeals, Party Law Report, whatever it is, you will go for find by citation. But then if you're looking for a judgment on a particular section of an act, then the find case law on a section will come in. So like these styles will differ depending on what you have with you. Then comes the second part, that is the red tiles. Now, red tiles are those tiles which do not require any input, any word or anything. You will simply browse through the information. So it's like going at one place and flipping pages. Or rather, let me put it in a different perspective. It's like your library. You walk into your library, you know, okay, this is where the page acts are kept, this is where the articles are kept. And you go over there, you see everything lined up in one place. All you have to do is pick up one, start reading about it. That's exactly what browse does. So you don't have to type anything, you just have to select, and then it will simply open up the pages for you, and you can simply go forward. Right. So that's the basics of what the screen does. About the third tiles, that charcoal grayish, these are external other softwares that we provide to our customers. But in today's session, we'll not talk about, we'll talk about the first two, the blue and the red tiles. So that will be the focus for this session. So let's go forward now. Now, this is the interface. I'm going to take a moment to also tell you what all databases you'll be accessing through it. Now, the name suggests SCC Online, which means Supreme Court judgment, but it's more than that in the software. And let's see it. And you can also do it simultaneously if you want. You can open SCC Online, you can go to data coverage, web edition, and this entire list will open up over here. You can scroll down and you can see it says Supreme Court from which period to which period, Federal Court, Privy Council from which period. Year-wise information has been mentioned out here, so that from which era are we getting this information. But just to give you a good synopsis of what information that we have, we're giving you this quick PDF file. So Supreme Court judgments, all the high courts, few handpicked judgments of district courts are available over here. Then before independent judgments, Privy Council, Federal Court judgments, along with the lower court judgment, which were historical courts like Ajmer, Goa, Kutch, Lahore, Upper Burma, Lower Burma, and all this stuff. Those are available over here. Then, and this is Privy Council Indian Appeals. So 1836 onwards till 1949 available over here. Then you have tribunals, various tribunals. Now, those of you who do not understand the meaning of tribunal, though I think most of you would already know the meaning of tribunal, but just to bring everyone on the same page, tribunals are courts but these are not like a generic courts that we have usually, which is taking care of civil or criminal matters. The bifurcation goes further down rather than just civil or criminal. These are specific to one type of cases. So if you heard of labor courts, right? There are cases between the employer and the employee. And then you have consumer court, which is between the manufacturer or the distributor and the consumer. If there's some conflict between that, they will come into play. Then you have National Green Tribunal, that is NGT, which takes care of the environment cases or environment type of decisions. So those who know about this, that 10 years old diesel car is not allowed to run in Delhi per se, and 15 plus years of petrol car is not allowed either. So you wonder that who has done this. This is what they have done that. The NGT has done that. Now, going further with that, there's a Mr. Rana can show the list over there as well on the right side, on the top. So this is the entire list of all the criminals. And then please scroll down further now. So Indian statutory law, you have central acts, state acts, rules and regulations, circulars, instruction, notifications, bills in parliaments coming your way. Then Constituent Assembly debate, which is the backbone of the Constitution. A lot of people don't read about it, but there it is. Now, later, a lot of commission reports are available over here, including the Law Commission of India reports. Articles from various journals, 62 top professional scholarly journals are available over here. Treaties. Then I think your screen is just getting frozen. Just a minute. So treaties are here, policy documents are here, and moot court resources. You also have moot court resources, which means that in case you want to see the moot courts that had taken place recently, you'll get all their information over here. So it means that their problem, their winning team memorial from both the side, and sometimes also the best team memo will also be available in this this section. Then you also have other country databases, that is 24 other countries, that is UK, US, West Africa, West Africa, South Africa, then all the neighboring countries that we have available over here. And then on the right side, we have your international courts. So international courts are the courts which are not bound by the laws of a particular country, but takes care of the issues which are at a global level. So those cases like ICJ, International Court of Arbitration, all these ones are the ones which are considered as international courts. So you're getting all this access through SSC Online. Now let's get into SSC Online and understand how we do the research over here. Now let's understand the difference between the two. One is the blue tile and the red tile. So let's understand the difference. Mr. Rana, could you please click on Browse Acts and Rules? Now, Browse Acts and Rules. Could you please zoom in a bit? I think it's too small for us, for all of us actually. Now, if you can see, it says Constitution of India, Central Acts, Rules and Regulation, Notification, all this stuff. You can choose one. Let's take Central Act. And now you can see it says Civil Procedure Code, Criminal Procedure Code, then IPC, Evidence Act, all those are available over here. And we scroll further down, others are alphabetically arranged. So the primary law, the acts which are used on a daily basis are mentioned over here. Others are just kept in alphabetical order. Mr. Rana, let's take a Motor Vehicle Act because that'll be easy to everyone to comprehend and relate to that. So we click on Motor Vehicle Act. You can see, let's take the second part, 140 to 217. Now click on this. That particular section of the act will come over here. You click on that particular section number. No, Mr. Rana, click on 140. You picked up the previous one. Yeah. Click on 140. Can you scroll down? I think that'll be easier. Yeah, so now we can see the acts are opening up over here. The section has been laid down over here for you. And if you keep scrolling down, you'll see something which is not usually available. That is this blue color boxes. Now, those of you who have read this particular act would agree with me that this particular thing, the blue color box that says transfer of ownership of vehicle, is not the language of the BEAR Act. It is something extra that we have done over here, and this is called as commentaries. Important judgments on a particular point of law that is being discussed in the BEAR Act. So on the point of transfer of ownership of vehicle, this particular case is there. Now it says which case? It says Balwant Singh versus National Insurance Corporation Limited. Citation is 2020, volume 11, SEC 745, page number. But what is this case talking about? And that is just mentioned in the blue box. It says the effect of transfer of ownership of vehicle on insurance certificate and operation of section 157 explained. Liability of insurer when damage is caused to third party, and liability of insurance in respect to other risks, example when damage is caused by vehicle itself or the vehicle is stolen. Distinction in scenarios explained. So this is what it is. So once you read this brief, you understand, okay, at this point, on this point of law, this is one of the judgment. Now, this is why am I giving you one judgment over here, and what is the purpose of giving this judgment? There might be a lot of judgment, probably hundreds of judgment on this, but you will be just, spending a lot of time over there, going through one judgment to another to third one, and then so on and so forth. And you might not get to this judgment in, let's say, for an hour. So what the purpose of giving you these blue color boxes is to tell you that on this point of law, this is one of the most important judgment. And the good part is that you click on this citation, it will open this particular judgment into a different window. So you're not leaving anything over here. You need to make a note of the judgment party name or citation. Nothing of that sort is required. You're good to go. It's easy and you can simply go ahead with that. Please close this. And let's scroll down in the Bail Act itself. Let's see if this blue color boxes appear very often. There we are. So liability of carrying goods in the car, just please scroll up. Yeah, carrying humans in a goods vehicle, please scroll down. Absence of valid or genuine license, there's another judgment on that. And this will keep on going throughout the Bail Act. And not only this Bail Act, any Bail Act you pick up, provided it's a central Bail Act, central act, statute, and you'll get this throughout the Bail Act. So this can help you, help the professors, help the library staff, help the students. You've been given something which has been work has been done by some other members. Now, when I say other members, these are editorial members. These are not any random people that we are asking information from. The people who are specialized, who've been doing this work for almost a decade. That's a minimum that we have. And then going further, people are been doing this for more than like 15, 20 years as well. So that's what this information is coming from. You can also save this entire thing. You can save this entire Bail Act in the same language by clicking on this floppy icon, and it will give you the save option right over there. Let's go back. And how do we go back? We click on these 9 dots, and it'll bring that particular screen for us. Let's zoom out a bit. There we go. So that's the one way of browsing. You click, it just gives you the information. Let's see something similar. Mr. Anna, let's click on find case law by section. Simple, right? Something similar. Section of an act. Now over here, you have to type it. Let's take Motor Vehicle Act. Yeah. Start search. The entire Motor Vehicle Act will open up over here, right? So let's take let's get into 140 plus section numbers. Okay, no 140. Just go back. So necessity of insurance so let's take this one. Necessity for insurance against third party. What happened? Let's do that again. So what I'm not going to happen is it's not going to give you the language of the Bail Act. It's going to straight away give you the judgments on that. So I think there was 146 or something. Please scroll up. Yes, take this. So we'll click on that. I've never opened this particular section before, so I just hope there is some judgment. So there are judgments, a couple of judgments. So there are now 250 and 259 results which are available over here, right? Now in this, you can see it's not one judgment. There are so many judgments which are available over here. So this is a difference between a search, wherein you have to type something, and the browse, wherein you just have to get the information in the first place. This is a major difference, right? Let's get into the full-fledged session and see how we can do other researches. Let's go back. And let's see something else from the Research Plus. I'll cover the Research Plus first, and then we come back to the browse and see what else can we do in this. So let's go with the word search first. A word search is the most simplest but more versatile, the most versatile search that we have with us. This simply means that whatever you have with you, a party name, a citation, a one word, a sentence, a phrase, whatever you have it, you can search it over here. Though there are specific tiles or tabs for that, but you can also do all the searches over here. So now what are a few guidelines how you should do research over here? And I'm going to give you the guideline not only for SEC, for other legal research software as well. And that is the most important one is do not write queries. Do not write questions. Do not write full sentences over here. Write the main words that you're looking for. Now we usually have this tendency of asking a question, and there's nothing wrong with that because I think we've been conditioned in such a way because we've been using Google from a long time, and Google is all about query search. You ask a question and someone down the line have answered that question either in the forum or a blog or some other place. On the reviews, you get the answer to your question. But we need to understand there's a difference. Google search is meant for everyone. You can be a scientist, you can be a mechanic, you can be a F1 racer, you can be a trainer like me, you can be a professor. So professor of anything, right? It's not a fraternity-driven research. It's meant for everyone. So that's why when you write it down something, you have to write down with giving reference to what you're looking for and from which vertical you need the information from. So you write that I want the judgments, or I want the daily orders, or I want the Bear Act, or I want an article. So you call it out that loud. And on which topic do you need? And from which court do you need the judgment from? Is it from India? Is it from outside India? You have to write everything over there. And is that wrong? No, it's not wrong. Because over there in Google, not only judgments are there, there's so many things which are kept. So yeah, that's why you have to isolate the search that you're looking for and from which vertical you need the information. So it's fair enough over there. But when you come to legal research softwares, it's a legal research. That means it's already in the area has already been marked, the boundary has already been marked. It's not going to go beyond the legal fraternity. So that means writing judgments, I need it from Supreme Court of India, I need a court judgment, all that is not required. So usually what do you do? If you go to Google and you want to see a judgment on, let's say, corruption, you write latest judgment from Supreme Court of India on corruption. And then that's when you get the results. In SEC, that is not required. You're writing all these down, latest judgment from Supreme Court of India on corruption is just not required. What is required? Only the word corruption. Mr. Anna, just remove everything. And I'll show it to you. Why am I saying that? Remove everything, just write the word corruption and start search. Why only one word? Because all that you're asking for, latest Supreme Court of India, all that will be given you, which is an inbuilt feature of this particular website. So you don't have to worry about that. And let's see what we're talking. So you see the first column, it says we got around 59,000 results, close to 60,000 results, shot by only couple of more documents. And now if you see, it says digest notes, judgments, acts, bills, rules, legal and business news, policy documents, state notification, everything is mentioned right over there. So that means with one word, it has searched in the entire database what we saw before we talked about in the starting. How can I figure it out? How can I select only one particular database? Let's see that. Let's go to judgments, plus sign of judgments. And I need a zoom on that, Mr. Raina. Yeah. Oh, that's too much. Just go one step down. Yeah, that's good enough. So click on the plus sign of judgments. Now see it says Supreme Court, Federal Court, Privy Council, and click on the plus sign of High Courts. You'll see High Court wise as well. So this is how you see all the information court wise. The good part of this is I can say only Supreme Court. And how do we do that? So you take a cursor in front of Supreme Court and you click on only. This is the only icon which was appearing over there. So you click on that only icon, and then now only Supreme Court is available over here. But then you wanted a latest judgment. So how can you get the latest judgment? Is this the latest judgment 2018? No, it's not. So let's go back to this sort by option. And in sort by, there's an option of latest first. Click on that. And there you are. It says we got a latest judgment from Supreme Court of India on corruption coming from 27th of October, a couple of days back. And I think it took us a couple of minutes, not more than I think 5 minutes, to get to this particular judgment.
Hello, sir. May I jump in?
Please.
In the second column, there is this box, J and 3. What do those mean?
I'm coming to that. I'm just coming to that. So you see this J and 3. J means it's a full judgment. Take your cursor on that, Mr. Ryan. It'll call out as a blurb. It says that J means a full judgment. It's not an article, it's nothing. So it's just a distinction. Sometimes when you say all results, it'll be a mix of judgments, articles, acts, digest notes, then some commission report and all. So this will bifurcate or differentiate rather that this is a judgment and this is not a judgment. And the number 3 next to that gives you an idea how many judges were part of the quorum. So this is a full bench judgment. This is not a single bench. This is not a constitutional bench judgment. There are 3 judges which are part of this quorum. So this is a simpler way. And I'll tell you how it matters. Now see if you see the first judgment and you see the third judgment. The third one is a divisional bench. For me, it's always better to take the bigger bench judgments if you want to cite a precedent, provided if they are both similar. If I have an option, I'll only go for the higher bench judgment. So if I would have got a 5 bench judgment, I would have gone for 5 bench judgment over here, even if it's the older one. And there's an option for that as well. Mr. Rana, please click on sort by again. There's an option of this last one, quorum largest first. Click on that. I can now see there's a judgment on corruption from Supreme Court of India, and where it is talking about corruption with a bigger bench. And there you have it. 11 bench from Goloknath. Then you have coming from 1994, Bomia versus Union of India case and Indira Sani case. Now this might be completely on corruption, or might be some part of corruption has been talked about. How do you make head and tail out of it? That is the case that is relevant to you or not? Just give me like 5 minutes. I will talk about that as well. How to save that time of yours. Now coming to the judgment. Now if you see in the judgment, it says the citation on the top in Supreme Court of India before Chief Justice Subha Rao. This is Vanchu. This is Ayatullah. Now out of over here, there's so many names. There are 11 names. Out of 11 names, only 4 names are in bold. Does that mean anything? Absolutely, it means everything. And what does it mean? It means that out of 11 judges, only 4 were the one who had authored the judgment. Others were just there to give their opinion. So you will understand that out of these 11 judges, only these are the ones who have, authored the judgment. And not only that, you can jump to their respective judges' judgment from here. And let's say there's a Chief Justice Rao over there, and Justice Vanchu, Hidayatullah, Peshawar. I don't want to read everyone's judgment. I don't want to read Justice Subha Rao's judgment. I want to read what Justice Hidayatullah spoke in the judgment. Just click on his name, and I'm here on his part of the judgment. Mr. Rana, can you show us which paragraph is this? By scrolling up and down. So it's paragraph number 123rd. 123rd paragraph number is what Shahidullah judgment starts from. And if I click on his name again, which is not required right now. If I click on his name again, I will take it back to the top. Now question comes in, can I copy something from a judgment? You can. You can either highlight, do a Control-C, Control-V, but there will be few judgments like this one which will not let you highlight anything. Now in those scenarios, you will have these small clipboard icons over here. Mr. Raina, just click on that. Just do a single click. Please scroll down. Let's take a couple of more paragraphs. We'll take 124th. I think that's good enough. And I think you need to zoom out because we can't see your toolbar at all now. I think one more time. Yeah, we can see it, but it's all white. So, okay, Mr. Just a minute. I think we just, yeah. So if you see this this toolbar, it says Smart Copy. Now in this Smart Copy, when you click on these paragraphs and you click on Smart Copy, what's going to happen? We'll see it. All these paragraphs will get copied into a different window, along with the citation, along with the party name, which you would have written otherwise. You're all by yourself. That's been taken care of automatically. And you can also send in an email to yourself or to someone else as well. And this will be sent from here itself. So that's how it really works. Okay. And these are, I think, a couple of paragraphs we copied. And now you can highlight whatever you need to copy from here and paste it anywhere in any of the Word file for your reference, including the party names which I already mentioned over there. Okay. That's a smart copy for you. So let's go back. And over here, we see this, it says, again, we are back on the screen. So we searched one word search. What if there is a phrase search? Now, phrase search means the words which are made of 2 or 3 words together. So let's say culpable homicide. Now, culpable homicide, locus standi, motor accident, dowry death. All these words, public interest litigation, all these words are not one word, but actually these are one word, but made of 2 or 3 different words together, right? So we're gonna take care of that. How do you want to take care of that? So let's take search for public interest litigation. Now we all understand public interest litigation. All 3 words have an individual meaning, right? But then these individual meanings, we don't want that. We want it as a combined word. Now for that, need to put double inverted commas around this, and this will work on your Google as well. If you are planning to do a search on Google, a similar way, put double quotes, you'll get the searches together. Please start search. Now individual words will not be searched. So this is a word. This is a phrase search. Whenever you have a phrase, put double quotes. It will find it exactly how you want it. And now you can see public interest litigation is available over here. Now see the center column again. We were talking about J, J2, J3, J1 and all stuff, J11, J9. Now things have changed. The number is still means the same thing, 2 over there, that means the 2 is the quorum stand. What is D? Now D is an answer to what I raised a question a couple of minutes back that you don't want to read the full judgment. I want to see if this is talking about corruption or not in the previous example. Now this D means it's a digest note. It's one of the point of law which was discussed in the judgment. Now if you see, it says it's a digest note, and now if you click on this, it opens up into the side, the third column, and it says talking about public interest litigation, maintainability, Mr. Rana, yeah, maintainability, Article 32 and Red 2226 talking about NGOs and public spirited citizens. Initiative taken in exposing 2G spectrum scam. Petitioner's role commended. Sorry. Please scroll up and you can read the brief of what is being discussed in this judgment on this point of law. And at the end it says para 101. What is this supposed to mean? So whatever that you read, it was a brief of on this point of law. But if you want to read more about on this point of law of this judgment, you would need to go to the judgment and then go to para 101 because that is where exactly this point was being discussed. So I can click on the citation again and I can jump to para number 101 and you will get this particular point that you will decide to read. Citation is already hyperlinked over there. So this is all clickable and you can open it in a different window. And open it, Mr. Anna. So it opens up over here. Now this is, you must be wondering that what is this brief? This is a summary. Now this summary is also available over here. So please scroll slowly on the top, like see. So this see in the bold one, it says Constitution of India, Article 14, 38, Subpart 1, 39, Subpart B, and others, public trust doctrine, national resources as national assets, state as trustees on behalf of its people, dispensation, allocation of national resources by state. Now this is talking about giving you a brief what this entire case is about. And you keep scrolling down further. This is not even a judgment right now. This is just the head notes. These are all in the bold, these are all head notes. You keep scrolling down till you get the judgment. If you just read the head notes, that will give you a fair idea what the case is all about. And now the judgment starts from here. And you can see it says the judgment of the court will, please scroll further. There we go. The judgment of the court was delivered by Justice Singhvi. Anything which was kept before this, above this, it's the part of the head note. So if you just read those 15 pages of information, you'll have everything that you need, what the case is about, what is the point of discussion that happened, in which para it was discussed, everything will be mentioned rightly over there. So this is the power of head notes, right? So please close this. So I always suggest when you're doing a research, always go for digest notes. Mr. Rana, could you please highlight the digest note with the cursor on the first column over here? So these digest notes are the summary of the cases. So you don't have to go through the full case. You just read the summaries, read the point of law, whether it is relevant to you or not, and you just simply take a call and go for them, right? So please do that. Let's go back to the search. One more search that I would like to talk about. That is, what if you have a sentence in your mind? How do you search? How do you do search in that case? Now, see if you have a couple of things. I'll take a very basic example, and probably if you have more questions, I can get to advanced as well. Now, usually we have this thing that, like I said in the starting, that you have asked questions, you ask queries. Now, if I say I want to see judgments on murder where the husband killed the wife and the choice of weapon was knife, what do we do usually? We write murder. The wife was murdered by the husband, and the knife was used as a weapon. And you start like that. Not required. We have understood one thing. Don't write full sentence. Just write the main word. So write murder. Write wife. And write the word knife. 3 words, that's about it. But now if I do a start search, it will not make sense because it is a high possibility that murder comes somewhere else in the first paragraph, knife will come somewhere else, and wife might be somewhere else. How can I make a connection between these words? And for that, I need to make sure that these words are appearing next to each other or near each other. So when I want something near to appear near each other, I write the word near in between in capital letters. So write near in between as well, and start search. What's going to happen now is going to find all these 3 words probably in a sentence. Now this is by default 10 words proximity. Let's see that. So murder trial, appellant accused allegedly causing knife injuries to the neck of his wife. Again, a head note, not a full judgment. You read this part, you'll understand what it's talking about. And the good part is, if you see second column, it says the first judgment is a different one, second one is a different one, third is a different one. So this is only giving you head notes on the points that you are looking for, and all is available over here. Right. So this is the word search. You can do a lot of more things. Let's get going with that, other things. So let's go back to the dashboard. And now we will go for words and phrases. Now, words and phrases is a very simple one. When you need a judgment, when you need a meaning of a particular word, will come over here. It's like a dictionary for you. So you can pick up any word. we talked about public interest litigation. Just write public interest litigation over here. Will it give you judgments? No. What will it give you? It will give you the definitions which might have discussed in a judgment, in a dictionary, in a Bail Act, whatever it is, you'll get it. The first definition is coming. It says means the legal actions initiated in a court of law for the enforcement of public interest or general interest. And this is coming from a judgment, Jandal versus H.S. Chaudhary. And there is a second definition just after that. It's also coming from a judgment, and then third one is also coming from a judgment, same judgment, and so on and so forth. This is how you can see the definitions coming from various verticals. Okay, this is your dictionary one. Let's go back, Mr. Anna. Topic guide, I will leave it for today's session. Probably once we come back for advanced, I'll talk about this in detail. Let's get to find by party name. Now, find by party name is fairly very simple, a tab or a search methodology. You either have a party name or you don't have a party name. But you can also have a third option, that is sometimes you don't remember the party name, you have a titles which is given to a case, like Mumbai Blast case, Sabrimala case, Triple Talaq case, then Redford attack case, LGBT case. All these are titles given to this particular case. Now, if you don't have a party name, then like Mr. Anna is now doing in search by famous case name, there are two options. Either you take this or you take this. So he says Jessica Lal. Please click on that and search. It will decode this title into a party name. So Manu Sharma versus State. That's a party name. So whenever you are stuck, whenever you remember this particular game, like Bhopal gas tragedy, so you just write those things down and you will get your results. Okay. But let's go with more traditional way of approaching searching. That is when you have a party name and you have to search with that. Let's see that. Mr. Anna, please select the court. Now, when you click on the drop down, it gives you options. Is it a Supreme Court judgment or a High Court judgment or what? What is it that you're looking for? So you can select whatever you're looking for. You can select that. Or furthermore, what you can do, you can also click on all jurisdiction. In case you have any doubt that is it a High Court judgment or a Supreme Court judgment, you can click on all jurisdiction to search in all the courts together. Now comes the second part. What is the party name? Now we're here. Mr. Anna, just write the party name as, just write Golak and start search. So there's 67 odd results from the word Golak, because Golak is very common. I remember the full party name is Golak versus State of Punjab. So just write Punjab next to that and start search again. The results have been down from 67 to only 1 because this is a unique combination. One thing that you would have noticed by now, I did not write verses in between. So do not write verses. Just write the words, the party name, irrespective if it's a first party or a second party. Write their names in any order, you'll get your judgment. Okay, so unique number names. And double click on this, it will open the full judgment for me. Once you open the full judgment, what's going to happen is going to give you the results of the full judgment. Now, if you see over here, it says 120 digest notes. That means 120 points of law were discussed in this one judgment. Right? And it says judgment is one, but there are 120 points. Now, if you see this one, it says the center column, it says J11. J means a full judgment, 11 means a quorum center of 11 judges, the same one that we were looking in the starting. Then it says D11. D is a first digest note. Then there's a second digest note, third digest note, and you read the heading, talking about the meaning of estate, talking about the meaning of declared, talking about the meaning of estate, fundamental rights, and so on and so forth. You click on any of this, it will only give you that particular point of law which has been discussed. So, Mr. Anna, you can please randomly click one of the law point. Okay, fundamental rights. So it says on fundamental rights, Justice Ayatollah spoke, fundamental rights are those rights which are state enforced against itself. Natural rights embrace activity outside the status of citizen. Legal rights are required for the free existence as a social being, and the state undertakes to protect them. This was exactly what was discussed in on fundamental right, and Justice Ayatollah was the one who spoke on this point, not any other judge. So you see that, okay? And now if you see, at the end it says Justice Subharao, Justice Vanchu, Justice Hidayatullah, Justice, everyone's name is there. But now look at this very closely. Mr. Anna, I would request you to please zoom in over here. If you see the third column, it says, it gives you numbers, the superscript numbers. This is Chief Justice has superscript number 1. This is Vanchu has superscript number 2. This is Hidayatullah has superscript number 3. This is Peshawar has superscript number 4. And this Ramaswamy has superscript number 5. Now, this is where it becomes interesting. Who was concurring with whom? Who was supporting? Who was saying that I agree with you or I agree with you? This is Hidayatullah has superscript number 1. Now let's see the names which are not in bold. This is Sikri, this is Selath, and this is Shah, and this is Vidayatullah. These 4 names are not in bold, but they have the same superscript number. That means all these members have, all the judges are concurring with Justice Chief Justice Subharao. And then Justice Vanchu has support from Justice Bhargava and Justice Mittal. But Justice Peshawar, Justice Hidayatullah, and Justice Ramaswamy has no support from the bench at all. So you can also see the concurring and dissenting over here itself. You can also see the who is supporting with who. Okay, so you don't need to read the full judgment. That's being done. Mr. Anna, please scroll back to the judgment. We see something more over there. You can do one more thing. You can take a printout and all stuff. I'll take it in the different section. But let's come to, if you want to see where all this case was cited, referred, or basically in simple words, cited as a precedent. What will we do? Now, in order to find out where this case was cited as a precedent, I would have to click on case reference. And for that, Mr. Rana, please take a cursor over there. There's the option of case reference. One click on this, it will show me all the judgments where this case was cited as a precedent. So you'll get other judgments which might be relevant to you. And there we are. So all these judgments are available right over here. Okay. And there's one more thing. Mr. Anna, can we go back to the Golnath case again? How do you figure it out if something is if a judgment is overruled or not? Let's open Golnath again, no worries. You can also see if a judgment is overruled and if it's overruled on which law point it is overruled. So we'll quickly get into that as well, that aspect as well. Let's do a sub search, Mr. Anna. There's an option on the top left. There's your logo just below that. There's an option of search. Write the word overruled. This is something that you should do, all of you should do whenever you open a judgment going forward with the help of party name or citation. Write the word overruled in the sub search. If something is overruled, it will come automatically in the list. If nothing is overruled, it said no result found. Now we can see we got around from 121, we have been down to only 16. Now these 16 are mentioned over here. Can you see this red exclamation mark next to the number? All the exclamation mark, if you click on this particular law point has been overruled, not the others. And you can scroll down this third column. It is overruled in case on the Bharti case. Similarly, other law points which are overruled are mentioned right over here. Wherever you see this red exclamation mark, that means this point of law is overruled. So, if anyone tells you, there was a question that Alvin, that you asked me in the starting, why SSC Online is the best software? This is one of the reasons. Other softwares, you open this Golnath case, they will say Golnath case is overruled. The entire case is overruled, but the entire case is not overruled. Only few points of law which is overruled, and this is what I'm showing you now. That these are the points of law which are overruled, and others are still a good law. Okay, so that's how it goes. So let's go back and let's go a search for find by citation now. Now, find by citation, like the name suggests, you have a citation with you and you want to do a search for that. Now, this can be, you can have SSC citation, you can have AIR, DRJ, DRT, whatever, and click on this drop down. You'll see the list of all the journals available over here. Pick up any journal of your choice, and you will be able to get the judgment through that citation. Do we have a tie-up with all journals? No, we don't have a tie-up. Let's take AIR itself. And okay, we don't have tie-up with AI. We don't have tie-up with a lot of the journals for that sake. But what we're doing is we're giving you equivalent citation so that you will have a citation. You're not getting stuck at some place. You're getting the judgment and you're getting over here. And not only with the AIR. Please scroll down, Mr. Rana. You can see even if you would have SEC Online, EC, Criminal Law Journal, ECRN, AIC, or AIR, any citation you would have used, you would have still got the same judgment. Okay, that's a simple way of finding the judgment with the citation. So that brings us to the end of the search tiles. Let's now quickly go to the library part. Now, Mr. Adam, before we go to library part, I think we'll show one more thing. Please close this dashboard. You can also make your own folders in SEC Online. So, Mr. Anna, can you please click on the judgments only? I think there's only one judgment over here. Or let's do one thing. Let's click on case reference. We'll get more judgments. Can you make your own folders in SEC Online? Certainly you can. You can make your own folders and we'll see to it how can we do that. You can add anything. You can add judgment, you can add articles, you can add bare acts, you can add even the the treaties and everything, whatever that is. Vishal, let's say only judgments. And now let's take the first judgment and save that judgment. There's an option over here which is called as add to my SEC Online folder. Okay, you click on that. It'll say what is the college name. So you change the name, what the folder name that you want to name it as. So Government Mizoram Law College. So I'm making a folder for you so it's easy to understand. Select your folder. So the name is appeared over here. Okay. Your folder has been created and now you're adding the documents. This document has been added. Let's take another one. Again, by default, your college name is there. Your folder is selected. 2 is there. Let's take 2 more. Continue over here, Mr. Anna. Continue over here. Let's not waste our time over there. So Mr. Anna has taken, I think, taken at 4 or 5 odd judgments, and those are available. Have been saved over here. How do you access it? That is something that I will leave it in for some time. Mr. Anna will take care of that. Now let's go back. So you know how to save the folders, how to access folders. That is something I will ask Mr. Raina to take care of that. Now coming to the browse part. Now if you see there, we talked about browse acts and rules. What else can we do? Let me show you the moot court resources. That is something that we left out in the starting. I said that you can access the moot court archives. So this is what we mentioned, we were talked about. Pick up any of the moot courts. Okay. So now you can say this one only has a problem. So let's take something else. So this has the winning team memorial as well. So you can use it, and Aldrin, that I understand that you're taking care of the your VC for the student association. We can also, rather than creating your own moot court problems, because that takes a lot of time, you can use these moot court problems, and then you can also share the winning team memorial after the team has made a memorial to show that this is how you need to make it. So it'll save a lot of time of yours, and the practice will be will be done anyways. So this can be used. Now that being said, we all know how to do it. Click on it, it'll expand. Click on that, it'll show it over there. So this is the same way for moot court resources. Let's go back. What else? There's something that I would like to show and would like to give it to you. That is browse credit topics. Now this is our topic-based search. Now topics which are the principal topics. It says constitutional law, public law, corporate and commercial law, taxation, and others. These are principal heads. Under this, there are sub-heads. So let's click on one of the entries. Mr. Raina, please take one. Any of this? Okay, let's take corporate and commercial. Now in corporate and commercial, there are subheadings, subtopics. Now when I click on that, the subtopic list will come over here. Now the topic, this particular tile name was browse curated topics. That means someone has curated something for us. The topics have been created for us. Now we see aviation law, banking and finance, companies law, all are available here. Mr. Raina, please take one. Any of this over here? So Mr. Raina has chosen competition law. So in competition law, there's a statutory law, rules and regulation, notification, case law, and all. Now when I click on any of this, let's take statutory law for the first example. Competition law is governed by Competition Act. We all know about that, right? That's why the Competition Act is available. But do you know that the Companies Act, Electricity Act, Insolvency Act, other acts are also connected to this one? There it is. So you can see this. You see Companies Act, Section 410 and 230, and Schedule 5 is mentioned over there. So if you just click on one, it only opens that particular section. Now, why is that coming over here? So the entire Companies Act is not governing competition law as a topic. But yes, there are a few sections which are related to that topic. Those are being mentioned over here. So if you're coming to this topic for the first time, it's very simple. These are the sections that you should be reading, irrespective of the fact that Companies Act has nothing to do with competition law, but once you deep dive into it, there is a lot of relevance. Okay. Then same thing applies for the rules and regulations. All the rules and regulations which are related to competition law, irrespective, it's coming from CCI or Compact will appear over here. And you can see it. All the rules and regulations are available over here. Same thing goes for notification. Let's go to case law simply, straight away. Now judgments. Now the important judgments on this topic are available over here. Otherwise, you would have searched for competition law in the word search. You found so many judgments. But there are few handpicked judgments which are important. Okay, and you can see those judgments available here, and you can start doing your research on these topics. Okay, let's go back. This is the query topics. Now, let's take or browse articles. Let's take browse articles. But I think, Mr. Raina, I will hand over the baton to you. Why don't you take care of the remaining ones, including the folder option? Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Chetan.
Yes. Thank you.
So, continuing further ahead, as far as the articles are concerned, you have the law review journals from 62 leading institutions and professionals over here, known as law review journals. When I expand it, it shows you the institution's name, Aligarh Law, or any other institutions of repute. So the listing is there, and instead of the browsing through the entire list, I can also use the filter option over here. I was recently reading this one on climate change, so I can enter the topic here, type the topic here, and then search for it. So I can see first Developing World Review on Trade and Competition. One article is there, and similarly the Environment Law and Practice Review (ELPR). Another one is there, and so on and so forth. So this is one. The articles. This apart, we can also browse through the latest case briefs or some information which is there in the separate website known as SCC Online blog. And here inside the software also some portion of it can be accessed, right? The SCC Online blog. And then there are reports and collected essays, as well as the entire series of Tagore Law lectures from 1870 till 1942. So all of this can be accessed in the articles section. And of course, we have the secondary material segment, wherein you will be seeing the entire bill. First is the bills in Parliament, which were introduced both in both the houses, whether Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, and the entire Constituent Assembly debates. That's what I was talking about. And these are from volume 1 to 12. And this took around just under 3 years before independence, all these debates that had happened. And apart from that, you also have the conversion table from draft to article and article to draft. Means what was the paragraph number in the draft, and in the final constitution it slightly differs, as you can see over here. Para number 1 in the draft is para number 2 in the constitution. So this apart, we have historical trials, policy documents from various departments of the government. Those are also available over here, and reports of various commissions and committees, including the law commission reports before independence as well as the current ones. The present one, I think, is the last report was of 2018, August 2018. That is also available in this particular segment. The treaties that we have with the other countries, bilateral, multilateral, so all of those are also available over here. And moving on to the